Hello everyone, I'm Anna, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a little bit different, but I wanted to film this for like a really long time. So yeah, this video is about how I got my spark back, and I just thought that many young people can resonate with that, so this is just a little help if you feel lost, if you feel like you don't know who you are anymore, and just like this spark and this happiness is gone out of your life. Maybe this video helps you a little bit to get it back and feel like yourself again, because I've been there and I got it back. So I hope this helps you, because it will always get better. It's just sometimes hard and just sometimes needs time. And yeah, this is my story with all the things I did to get me out of this hole and get my spark back. So I hope I can help you. Little disclaimer, I didn't study anything with psychology. I'm not a professionalist in mental health or anything. It just my story and things I learned on my way. So if you have like real problems like depression, anxiety disorders, thinking about taking your own life, please look for a professional. They're really good. I also went to one once when I was 18 and I got those panic attacks and anxiety disorder, and she helped me a lot. So yeah, been there, done that. But let's talk about how I lost my spark in the first place. So for me, everything started in 2024. Basically, it happened out of grief, and then some other factors played in it as well. So in August 2024, I lost my dog, and I loved her so much. She's been my best friend since I was 7 years old. And having her gone, like, I'm still really sad. Just basically took away everything I knew about my life and my home and my family. And I didn't really handle that well, because it was luckily the first time I lost someone. And back then, now in retrospect, I know I didn't handle it well, because I didn't listen to what would be good for me and just listen to others. For example, I started a new job, a student job during that time, where I worked like 20 hours a week, and I thought this was my dream job. Turns out it's not, but that's another story. And yeah, so during that time in August, it was like holidays from my studies. So I was able, because that's like a rule in Germany, that you can work up to 40 hours a week. And I did that. I obviously took a couple of days off after she died. And then my mom said, what always helps her is going back to routine. And I thought, okay, she's been through that. She lost also her dad, so she knows how to grieve. But the important thing about grief is that it's different for everyone. And going back to work wasn't for me. I did it anyways. I worked 40 hours, and then in September I continued working 20 hours a week. But also at the same time, I had to start writing my bachelor thesis. So these three things just collided. And I was completely stressed about my bachelor thesis, because I'm a perfectionist. And well, I just spent every day either working or writing my thesis and doing some research on that as well. So I didn't really have time for myself, and in the moments I had time for myself, I was completely grieving and sad, and I lost myself completely in these months. So it was around 6 months, and I had to then I finished my bachelor thesis and I was able to upload it. I finished my bachelor and I thought maybe when that stressor is gone, I will be fine again. Like I can just work 20 hours a week and then focus on myself. But what happened then, and I think this is also something that a lot of students can resonate with, is that I felt so lost because I had no perspective for my life yet. I knew I wanted to do a master's, but only because I didn't really know what I wanted to do as a job. So I had the student job, which I thought for the last 3 years would be my dream job, but it wasn't. Like I hated it so much, which also contributed a lot to me losing my spark and being really sad. And yeah, so I was then in this really dark hole where I just didn't know how to get out of. I applied for some master spots in 2 different countries, one in Sweden and one here in Maastricht. So I then had a perspective, like I knew I waited till summer until I can start something new. But I didn't really get out of that hole, and even after I had my official graduation in April, I think that was like one of the lowest points from there on till July maybe. So like around 3 months that were really, really hard on me. Obviously I also had nice times, like I went to New York in March or on a holiday with my parents for a week in the Netherlands in May, which was really, really nice. But I still like felt inside of me, I felt like I don't know who I am anymore and I don't know what I am supposed to do about it. In June, then something else happened, and here we come to, I wrote it down, the different steps that now in retrospect I took to get me out of this hole. Even though back then I did them unintentionally, I think this was actually the thing that saved me, because otherwise I think I wouldn't have continued like that for a long, long time. And basically in the beginning of June I admitted that I wasn't okay. I knew that this wasn't like a short thing, it was just something that would stay if I didn't do anything against it. And so I started talking about it with my mom, and she also suggested going to a therapist, but I tried. But like we have this shortage in Germany, so this didn't really work out. I had 1 appointment and she told me, oh well, yeah, we can meet in a year. And I was like, no, what the hell? Yeah, so definitely admitting to yourself that you're not okay and that you need to start doing something against it. Start opening up, even though this is like, at least for me, the hardest thing ever. But also in that time frame, my body was reacting so badly to all the stress and all the sadness I had within me. Like, this is when my acne really started to burst up. I didn't really gain weight, but I always looked like super puffy, and maybe I gained like 5 kilos or something, like not extremely much, but like still my body looked different. I couldn't sleep, I had extreme anxiety attacks at night. I had to take sleeping pills for a really, really long time because I just couldn't sleep. Yeah, so things like that were like really, really hard on me. And yeah, I started admitting I'm not okay, I need to do something against this. So then we come to step 2. Letting go of everything toxic in your life. And that was also the point where I knew I definitely had to end this job. Like, I hated it so much. Every time I woke up, I was just so sad to go. It didn't have anything to do with the people. It was just the job itself. Like, it wasn't for me. So I stopped that. I know that is also a really, really big privilege I had. And I know for most people this is impossible. But you could also start maybe looking for something else and just taking a step back from work. Yeah, I also moved back with my parents. Back to my parents. And this was, honestly, after that, I felt so relieved. Like, I knew I could take a break and just get my mind for some quiet time. But also this involves like not only the job but also relationships that don't feel good anymore. Like, especially in a time like that, you need people around you that make you feel good and that do not drain your energy. And these can like be one person. This can be no one, and you're like, if you're okay with that, maybe alone for some time. That was also really essential for me to just be alone and figuring out who I want to be, what my hobbies are, who I am, but we come back later to that. So quitting things that feel really toxic and drain you, also like habits. I don't know, it can be everything. Like drinking 5 coffees a day, or pushing yourself too hard in the gym because you think it has to be that way, or yeah, maybe just also expecting too much of yourself in that time. Also, when it comes to my own story, I firmly believe in something that is like a little bit spiritual, but still I'm a firm believer of that. And that is that in a place where you broke as a person, a place where you got hurt so much, you can't heal. That could be your apartment, that could be the city you live in. Parents' house, I don't know. For me, it was, I think, based on the city. So when I left Düsseldorf and moved back in with my parents in another city, I immediately felt relieved. Because I felt like I left everything that was shitty in the past nearly year behind. And I could start completely new. Luckily, I was also able to move to Maastricht 2 months later because I got the master spot here, which was really, really nice. So I also had then a change of perspective again. We can talk about this later, how this shaped me and how great that was. But yeah, like only the fact that I moved back to my parents and had a change in scenery, even though for many people this is maybe a step back, for me it was the only right one, because I felt instantly better. I wasn't happy yet, I still had this hole inside of me, but I knew it was gonna go better from that point on. This also leads to step number 3, which is taking a break. As I said, it is a privilege to do that, but I had this 1.5 months between quitting my job and then moving to Maastricht for my master. And I just did nothing. Like, I just took that vacation from my mind. And that was also, now in retrospect, the best thing I could have done. Because I could finally sleep again. Even some nights were still really rough, but I just had time for myself. I didn't have to think about anything anymore, like going for the grocery store. My parents took care of that. And like cleaning, I clean my room and help my parents a bit in the house, but like nothing like having your own place. So yeah, I could actually take a break and focus on things that I knew brought me joy in the past, which were like going for a walk in the park or going for a run, starting to work out again. I love Pilates and strength training, so I started with that again. And even though it was like 20 minutes a day, I was still happy. I also started YouTube during that time because I knew that was something I always wanted to do, but just was too scared to do it. And that was like my month of re-innovation. And that was so great because I also could have gone back to being more creative. I went on a trip with my boyfriend from back then, which was also really nice, seeing new places and just like relaxing the mind and really, really focusing on myself and not on others. Like I was the priority for that month, and that really, really helped me. That was also why I was able to find joy in the little things in life again and broaden also my horizon for different perspectives. Because for me it was also really hard to admit that the thing I thought was my dream job wasn't. And opening my mind for like, okay, you're gonna do this master's and you're gonna focus on that, and in that time you maybe figure out what is right for you. So leaving open the possibility for different ways of my life was also really relieving. I also listen to a lot of podcasts. I will put you all my favorites in the show notes, so that's called the caption. That really, really helped me and motivated me also to be my best self or become my best self. Yeah, so that was really, really needed. So step 3, we talked about that. I think that was the most essential for me because taking a break and clearing my mind and finally relaxing, I think that was like the best thing ever. And as I said, I'm really privileged that it was like 1.5 months for me. But I think also 2 weeks just maybe going into these tiny houses in the woods and just being for yourself, I think that also would help a lot. Going forward to step 4, which is integrating these little joys into your day. So what you discovered back into the 3rd phase and making it a habit, that really helped me. Like strength training. I discovered this YouTube Pilates instructor, Iggy Pilates. Maybe you know her. I talk about her a lot. And she has these videos, and somehow that kind of workout made me feel so strong. And this kind of gave me some confidence. So I continued doing them, and I still am doing them every day. And it's just like something so little, like 30 minutes a day, but this just makes me smile and makes me feel good. So I kept doing it, and yeah, that also contributed to my happiness or like getting my spark back. This can also be different things. I don't know, maybe being creative, picking up like knitting or crochet, painting, also really relaxing, a good thing. Staying away from that phone is also just the best thing. Reading, I also started reading a lot during that time, and it was like really great to have some hobbies again. Cooking, baking, all the things that just make you smile. Keep that for yourself and integrate it into your routine, in your day, in your habits. So you have like this little joy every day, even in days where you might not feel as good, just like always there to make you smile. Also meeting new people, that also helped me a lot. Like especially when I moved to Maastricht, I was so scared because I came out of this bad phase of my life, and I was feeling better at this point, like more confident again, happier in general. But I was still scared because it's scary to go somewhere where you know no one and you have to meet a bunch of new people. But the great thing was that I met the greatest people ever. Like, they are so kind and so nice, and I love them so much, and we became friends so fast, and I could open up to them as well. So making new friends, new relationships just feel good, and that you like to spend time with, that do not drain your energy. That's also something that is really, really important. We are social beings as humans, so we need to go out and be social sometimes, even though it's scary. This doesn't have obviously to be something that big as moving abroad and meeting new people. It can also be like little things inside your town. I went with my best friend to this book club event before I moved here. And this was also really nice. Like, girls could connect there, and it was really sweet. And I think if I would have not known, okay, you leave in a month, you could actually have met someone there you could make a connection with about one hobby of yours that you may discover in the third phase. So definitely recommend that, finding also new people with new perspectives. Number 5 goes along with that in some way, because step 5 is making yourself the priority from now on. And I know this sounds easy, but it definitely isn't. Because there will always be people around you that want something from you, or that you promise something and then you just don't feel like it anymore. I don't know, I'm a perfectionist. I'm definitely kind of a people's pleaser, so this was like a really hard thing for me. But for example, nowadays when I feel really tired and I just don't feel like going out, I just stay home. I just say, I'm sorry, I don't want to. And I stay home. Get some sleep. Also really important for your body. Sleep, greatest thing ever. Because I know, because I went through all of this, I know what's good for me, and you do too. You just need to be able to set boundaries and take care of yourself. Could also apply to jobs. You don't have to say yes to everything. Set boundaries. This is the best thing. You are the priority. If you want to go to the gym every day because you know it makes you feel good, plan this into your day so you can do it. Cancel things that may interfere with that. If you say, I want to see my girlfriends every day or twice a week, try to do this and make yourself like really, that you really enjoy your day. Like, plan it that it would be always the perfect day. I think that also helps a lot. Knowing yourself so much that you say, okay, this is now too much, I'm gonna take a break. Being able to do that is hard, but it actually saves you and makes you feel happier for a longer time. So yeah, definitely do that. You are the priority. This is your life. This is your happiness. This is your spark that you need in life to feel good, and just be yourself and enjoy something again. Also, I do that as well with workouts. This is a non-negotiable for me. This is like 1 hour me time that I need. Also with sleep and stuff, so I really set the boundary there now. Which is sometimes really hard, but helps me a lot to stay happy. And step 6, and the last one, is just keep going. I know that when I reflect back now, it was really hard and I nearly gave up on everything because I just couldn't. Like, everything was so hard. For me, even meeting my friends was, back then, draining me. Like, everything just was. But I got out of it. And now I'm really, really happy again. And I learned so much from that experience that I will never ever have in my life again. And this is also something to keep in mind. it will get better. It always does. Maybe you need help, like professional help, but this is completely okay as long as you're happy in the end. Maybe you need to take a break. You definitely do, maybe. I would recommend that. Maybe you need to quit your job. Nothing of that what you do for yourself is a failure. It's just what you need for your own happiness. And that is really the greatest thing you can do for yourself. Because I never want to feel like this girl last 2 years ago. I would never want to feel like her again. So I'm setting boundaries. I know my space. I got back with all the things I just told you about. I got myself back, and I tell you, immediately after I got my spark back, I dropped like a lot of weight, but not by starving myself or anything, just by being happy. My body started being normal again. I didn't skip periods anymore. I'm sure I still have bad skin, but I think that is more related to something else I'm trying to figure out at the moment. But also that got way much better, like much better. It's not gone, but it's better. I had healthier hair, I have better sleep. Just like the way even my body is reacting to me taking care of myself and being happy, it's just such a change. So definitely keep going. It will get better. I can promise you that. I really do. If you have any questions, because this is like literally everything I wrote down, and I don't know if I can think of anything else at the moment. Please write it in the comments. We can chat about everything. This is like, I hope, a safe space. And yeah, if you are right now in a really, really tough phase of your life, I send you all the love you need. I promise you it will get better. Keep going, take breaks, focus on yourself. Maybe something that I said helps you. Also when you're in a phase of grief. I'm so sorry you lost someone you love so dearly. I know it's hard, but even from my own story, I can promise you it will get better, and then it was all worth it. All the effort you put into yourself and your own happiness, it will be worth it. So keep going. I know you can conquer that, and I send you all the love. And yeah, I hope this video helped you and you get your happiness back. So thank you for watching this video, and see you